Hey, Mike, what do Kelly Slater and PT have in common?
I don't know. They're both world champs?
Nope, they both own Endless Summer box set.
Oh my God, rad. You guys, you can get it too. The link's in the show notes.
Foot out choke food. 100 racks on a surf dude. Slippery, big guns like Mark Food. Trap jumping like a kangaroo. 100 foot out.
Hey everybody, welcome to the QuiverCast, where we chat with surfers from all around the world, from all walks of life, and we get their story. Find us at www.thequivercast.com. I am Mike, your host. Let's get into the show. Hello, everybody. This is Mike here with the QuiverCast, and we have a super special guest all the way from South Africa, Warren Wareing. Am I saying that correct, Warren?
You got it spot on. Thank you, Michael. Like wearing a ring.
All right. Hey, how are you? And how's South Africa? It's late.
Yeah, good, brother. It's very big spell running at the moment off Durban.
Oh, really? Okay. Tell us a little bit about, is that where you live in Durban?
Yeah, I live in Durban. I live about 75 meters from the beach stand.
Woo. That's as good. That's how prime is that?
Yeah, sometimes I've heard a noise in my bungalow. Is there a rat inside my house? About 3 times I've found a crab in my
That's funny.
Yeah, don't come on the front lawn yet, bro.
Okay, so you are a South African surfer, and I've never interviewed a South African surfer, so I'm super excited.
Excellent. Stoked for that, bro.
Tell us a little bit about South Africa.
You should get hold of Sean Thompson. He's living over there in Santa Barbara.
I've seen him around. Yeah, it's been a couple of years, but I've seen the guy around for sure. But I'm pretty excited to interview you. You have some history.
I'm stoked. I'm privileged, bro. Thank you.
Yeah, so stoked. Okay, so tell us a little bit about Durban and South African surfing. And I know you've done some world traveling.
Yeah. About Durban, eh?
Yeah.
You know, Durban's like one of the best, most consistent surf city in the world, eh? It's really a good city. One of the best cities. And a lot of good people have come out of the city, and we've had a lot of world surfers come out of Durban.
That's where Sean Thompson's from, right?
Yeah, and Martin Potter.
Yep, Martin.
And Travis Logie.
Oh, Travis. Yeah, Travis rips. I like that guy.
Rips. He was a world champ junior, like an amateur. And then Warwick Wright.
How is your wave quality versus the rest of the world on average? Like, you're probably way better than Southern California.
Well, Southern California has its days and has its spots there, bro. Like New Break down by San Diego, by Point Loma, and also Swamis, or what do you call it? Swamis.
Yeah, Swamis.
Yeah, that really gets good. And then I surf quite a lot along Sunset Cliffs and down there by San Diego, by Ocean Beach.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Trestles is all time too. Trestles is really good.
Yes. But all those places you say are good, but they're also packed. How's the crowd in South Africa?
No, a lot of the times, look, in Durban in the city, it gets quite crowded, but South Coast, North Coast, you're almost looking for buddies to go surfing with you, bro.
Is it sketchy? Like, it's scary, kind of heavy? In the wildlife?
Oh, it breaks hard. It's really good spot, bro. Toughens you up. You got to be tough from Africa to survive.
Some of the up-and-coming South African surfers, are there quite a few coming up, right?
Yeah, there's quite a few good crop of them coming up. There's a kid called Luke Thompson.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of him.
Matt McGilvery. McGilvery's just got one ahead of Geordie at the moment on the WCT.
Yep, I know that name.
Yeah, and he rips. He lives at J Bay. They live right there at the spot in J Bay.
That's quite a bit away from your house, though, right? J Bay?
Yeah, it's literally 1,000 kilometers. It's like a 11-hour drive, a 10-hour drive, 11-hour drive south.
Wow. It's worth it, though, right?
It's the best wave in the world, bro.
How long have you been surfing that?
Every time you surf J Bay, you almost go like, why the flip don't I live here? What's wrong with me?
Yeah, that's my question to you.
The first time I went there was 1976.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've been going ever since, bro.
Tell us the first time you went there. What was your thoughts and how were the waves? And did you score?
Yeah, we scored, bro. We went down to Brand W Combi in 1976, and about 4 of us went down. One guy was Barry Wallens, in actual fact. He's quite a famous guy in the surf industry.
Yeah.
And yes, we went down there and we were like so stoked and so excited. When you see the signs that say J Bay and Jeffreys Bay and stuff, they pluck it with stickers all over them, you know. But when we got down there, it was just better than expected, because you've got a spot called Point, and then you've got another spot called Tubes, and then you've got Super Tubes, and then you've got Boneyards. Now, but when you go to J Bay, you start off at Point, which is like a Swami type, lot slower sort of wave. And then waves further south, obviously, lots of barrels there, like, you know? And then when you get up to Super Tubes, yes, that's like when you take the Super Tubes, it's almost like committing over the edge of a waterfall, and you flip and just take off, and you're not even trying to get you, thing just screams over you, and you just race in front of you, the rocks are right next to you, and you just pump, and next minute you realize you've had about a 250-meter ride, you know, and kick out of that thing, you can't believe you made the wave.
So how was the event? What was your thoughts on the event? And the waves were really good.
It was mind-blowing, bro, because, you know, they haven't had the event for 2 years because of the COVID story. And then it came back with a bang this year, and it's like the most people I've ever checked at J Bay in my life, bro. It was like, they apparently said that some drone did like a drone count that froze the picture and counted the people. Apparently there was like 13,000 people there. Like,
wow.
You know?
Wow.
Yeah, and just such a well-organized, cool event with all environmentally friendly stuff. Like, you can't get no plastic cups or nothing. It's all like cardboard and wood and spoons and just like all very typical surf vibe, like, you know.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was really a good event.
The WSL did a good job, or was it the local event that did a good job, you think, or combo?
Combo. WSL with the Bucks, but, you know, the locals there's a lady called Sharon. We almost like respect her as like the queen of the surf industry, not even in South Africa, internationally. Like, and
Okay.
she's the local lady there. Yeah, and she did Country Feeling in the early days, was her brand. And then she took on the Billabong license and she blew it up in South Africa big time. And then she sold it off to Billabong International. And she's respected as a queen, and she's now distributing Whistler, because she's very tight, very good friends with Paul Nadie, who's an ex-Durban guy from Durban who started Whistler. You know?
Oh, okay. I didn't know Whistler started there. Okay, cool.
No, it was started in California, but by a Durban guy, by Paul Nadie. He's a Durban guy.
Okay.
Durban born and bred, yeah.
Okay, so let's go back a little bit to Durban. Describe one of the main waves there. Is that the one with the pier?
Yeah, what it is, they've got initially the piers that we had, Mike, were solid rock piers. In other words, they were just like big boulders put out and made as piers, as solid piers, you know.
Okay.
And then we got a very good sand build-up on the southern side and the northern side of each pier, which created these nice sandbars. And that's where Bay of Plenty was from, you know?
Yes.
And Bay of Plenty used to be the most famous wave in Durban, but then went off the boil. And they built a new pier or a new groin. And, you know, as surfers, we always come with unique names for different spots.
Yes.
And because as local bras, we just tune, hey, where are you going to go and surf? We're going to go and surf New Pier, because they're building a new pier, you know?
Yeah.
And ever since then, the wave's just been called New Pier.
Yeah, that's it's called New Pier. Yeah. I think it looks pretty good.
And that's Durban's best wave, man. And that's off New Pier. So there's a right-hander that comes off New Pier. And when the banks are right and the angles are right, the swell angle's right, you're one of the best beach break waves in the world by far.
Wow.
Kira, you know,
it looks like
really good wave.
It looks really good. So
excellent wave.
You're from South Africa. When did you start surfing, and how did you get into surfing?
I got into surfing from only a little bit late. I mean, obviously, in hindsight, you'd love to have got into surfing a whole lot earlier in life. But I started when I was like 16 years old, you know. I'm now 66 years old.
Oh, cool.
So I've been surfing ever since 16, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I started surfing when I was 16. And it just progressed, and the bug bit me that I just didn't ever stop surfing, you know. Then we were very much into van life here in South Africa, and a lot of us, all the surfers, we had VW combi vans, you know.
Oh,
And
cool.
we fitted them out with fridges and stoves and beds, and we almost had like little competition whose van was the best. No, not really, but just it was just a real good vibe. The guys had stickers on the back of the van saying, "Don't come and knock in if your van's rocking," and all sorts of like weird things. Yeah.
What year is this?
1976 to 1980, 1976, 1980. That was my youth of, primo youth days in Durban. And then I went overseas in 1979.
A little bit more about your heyday in South Africa. How many guys were surfing back there? And you still haven't answered. How did you get into surfing? What
I got into surf. What motivated me to get into surfing?
Yeah.
There was actually a dirt, but my parents had a big bakery baking bread literally every night. And my surname, there was a famous bakery in and around Durban called Wareing's Bakery. It was my family bakery, my dad.
Oh, okay, cool.
And one of the guys who worked at the bakery, a guy called Andy Williams,
Mm-hmm.
he was a surfer, and he used to take me to the beach. And I used to say, "Can I come with him to the beach?" Play those old 8-track tapes and stuff, and we'd play Beach Boys and all the beach music. And he taught me how to surf, and that's when the bug bit me. And then I'd even go to sleep at night with an open little thing of resin or open wax, just so I could get the smell of resin and stuff like that. I was like a proper stokie.
Wow. That's amazing. That's kind of a different story.
Yeah, and then I had a board rack above my bed where I used to stash my 2 boards so I'd be able to look at my boards before I went to sleep and stuff.
Okay. So you said you started at 16. Do you remember like the first time you stood up and what was that feeling like?
Hey, it's the best feeling in the world. And you know what? The thing with surfing is, the weird part is, it gets better and better. But because the better you get, the better surfing gets. You know? And in the beginning, it's so frustrating in the beginning. That's why I always tell people who are starting out, I always say, take the longest board, widest board, thickest board, and just get the confidence to stand up stable and stuff like that. And then reduce the size of your board, the better you get. So the shorter you get your board, the more maneuverable it is and stuff like that, and the more confidence you got. So it's like riding a bicycle. Once you get the knack of it, and that's when it gets better and better. So, when surfing bites you and it bites you and you get pure stoke, that's you gone and surfing for good.
Yes. So also during your heyday, Sean Thompson was already on tour and probably a world champ at that point, or right when you were a teenager, he was a world champ, right?
He was our hero, bro. Still is my hero.
Yeah. That's kind of my question. Like, you guys had someone to look up to that was local.
Exactly. And you know what? There's a crew of them. There was Sean Thompson and then his cousin Michael Thompson.
Yep. Gotcha, guy.
Yeah. And then there was Mark Lamont and a guy called Gavin Rudolph. Gavin Rudolph won the contest at Smirnoff, beat Jeff Hackman and all the boys.
Yeah.
Night in Sunset Beach at Hawaii. There's just this kid from South Africa. No one even knew of him. He ended up winning the event.
That's
and he still rips. He's a good bro. He's down in Cape Town. He lives down in Cape Town.
Yeah. You guys have like little pockets of like great surfers.
We really do. There's a lot of good ones that come from South Africa, and I think a lot of them have been sort of prevented of going in the international circuit because of finances and sponsorship and distance geographically to get to locations. Whereas obviously in California or in USA, there's a lot more lucrative sponsorship available type of thing, whereas in South Africa, it's a little bit more limited in terms of the kids being able to get proper good sponsorship,
Yeah, so basically they're doing it on their own if they're doing it. Very little help.
Yeah, to a large extent, hey? But I must admit, like Geordie Smith's dad, Graham Smith. Yep. He gets behind the kids and he helps a lot of kids, and he gets them on the tour and gets them flipping. He's still frost.
Are you friends with him?
Yeah, very good friends with him. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Right on.
Yeah.
Outside of town, if you go a few miles out of town, there's probably surf. Is it kind of wild? Is it more like?
It's crazy. Like in Durban, our offshore wind here is a west because we live on the East Coast.
Yes.
So the offshore wind is a west, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And basically the best offshore conditions are a southwest. So coming from the southerly with the western angle, grooms the ocean. But what actually happens, if it gets over 10, 15 knots, the north coast and the south coast can't handle it. They almost get too blown out type of vibe, you know?
Wow.
And that's the only time that we really love the buildings and the development in Durban, because there's like a golden mile.
Yeah.
All the buildings, it like tames the wind down, like, you know, so we get cooking waves in Durban. It can handle strong winds, you know?
Yes.
That's when we don't mind the concrete buildings.
Yeah. Actually makes sense. It blocks the wind a little bit.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
What about the contest and stuff? Are these local surfers, are they having to drive all over the country just to compete in contests, or do you have a lot of local contests? Like are equivalent to whatever your amateur organization is?
Yeah, well, what we've got we have the SA Open, where we have the amateur events, and what we have is similar to the USA, I think, is where you got you've got your different states. They call them provinces here as opposed to states.
Yep.
And so you got your different provinces, and what you do is they have trials within their own province, and then that particular state or province select their team to represent them in the different age categories, and then they go to the SA championships. And then all the different states will send their teams to that location where the South African Surfing Championships have been held. And they normally have that in a different location every year. And then the different age groups. And then you become like the under 14 South African champion, or the under 16 South African champion, or the under 18. And then the most hotly contested category is the open category. So anyone, any age can enter that category. Huh?
Oh, rad. Okay. So,
yeah.
Now let's talk about the wildlife in the water. Is it sharky, or is there anything you got to watch out for? Or is it just kind of like everywhere? It's overhyped and it's nothing to worry about.
No, I mean, there's certain spots where I won't put my big toe in the water too much. Like, you know, there's some spots like Plettenberg Bay, and you know, there's definitely some spots, like there's a place called Second Beach in the Trans. It's like apparently the most shark attack beach in the world or some shit, you know. But so certain spots like that where the sharks breed, or you know, so you know which areas to really stay clear from. In Durban, yeah, they have what they call shark nets.
Yes,
and they stack shark nets. And surprisingly, in Durban, we haven't had a shark attack in Durban and the Durban area. We haven't had a shark attack for like 65 years, you know?
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. So it gives you a lot of confidence to actually go, people are over-amping, you know?
Okay.
Over-exaggerating the whole thing, you know?
All right.
And same with J Bay, you know, they've only come to the forefront since that Mick Fanning incident, like, you know, during the final. And I was actually at that final when it happened, like, and it was like, what? And you know, I think it was the sharks are there all the time, you know, and they wanted a bit of attention at the J Bay Open. Yeah. And it was during the final. Yeah. And then I actually think the shark was swimming past Mick Fanning, and then his leash went inside the shark's mouth by mistake, type of thing, you know. And then the shark like pulled him down, and he started going down, and that's when the whole drama happened. And then, you know, typical Aussie, they over-exaggerated, and Mick makes out he almost punched the shark on purpose. Like, yeah. You know, I think it was more of a panic attack.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I would brag, too, if I just survived a shark attack. If it was a shark attack. Of course.
We just always tune Aussie guys tune us, and we tune them, because, you know, we always got a rugby and cricket and surfing. We've always got that little rivalry between each country, like, you know.
Okay.
So All Black, New Zealand, Australia, South Africa, like, you know.
Wow, that's awesome. That's all in good fun.
Yeah, all in good fun, bro. We all tune each other and have good stabs at each other.
Oh man, I like your theory on him getting the leash caught in his mouth. I never even thought about that. And they didn't. I mean, there's no way of really knowing what exactly happened except what the footage shows.
100%. But you know, I was there watching it live, and I was standing next to a buddy, and we were on like a bit of a photographic tower. So they've got these like wooden Corona built, these like wooden stilt sort of platforms for the media, for photographers to take photos and stuff. So I was with a buddy, Billy, on top one of the photography, like as his assistant type thing, just to get a bit of view, to be honest.
Yeah.
And chatting to my connection, Billy. And as the incident happened, we both tuned like, yeah, I checked that he took his face off the camera. I said, did you take a photo? He said, no. The way it looked, quite thing, because Greg Emsley and them were on the commentary, and they said, yeah, what's happened with Fanning? And you could actually see him get pulled down, like as if he got pulled under the water, and then he popped up type of thing, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was drama in paradise. And I mean, then they canceled the event, and it was like, it was like crazy.
Oh, yeah.
You won't believe how quick the guys got in the water straight afterwards. I promise you, it wasn't even 5 or 10 minutes when they tuned the contest was cancelled. Those guys were in the water surfing straight away.
The waves were good.
I think the other waves were cooking.
Can't blame them. You got to surf.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go back to Warren too now. You in the 70s and early 80s, you're at home, you're traveling. Are you going in your van? Are you going and just going surf break to surf break? Are you going inland to camp and then like all those wild animals in Africa? Are you dealing with those?
Bro, there are wild animals, but I mean, not just roaming in the street. Like, it's not that heady.
No, I get that. It's not they're not in
Durban.
Durban.
But you get monkeys. You get like monkeys in Durban. Yeah, I've got a sling, like a sling, a catty. And often I'll like wake up tomorrow morning, I'll hear, dun, 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 what's that flipping noise? And I go outside, there's about 3-4 monkeys coming checking around. And then I scoop a catty and I flip and I take like a stone, and I shoot them with a catty and then they bolt
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So it is wild Africa, but I mean, you don't have to there's no like lions or anything. Those are in game reserves and they pretty much fenced in big game parks. But 2 hours from here, 3 hours from here, you can be seeing giraffes, hippos, rhino, elephant, crocodiles. And I mean, you come out to South Africa, I'll take you, bro. It's not even 2 hours away, 2.5 hours away.
I want to go. All right. Yeah, I want to go to South Africa. Good.
Yeah, it's really good.
How's the economy in South Africa right now? It's good for traveling for us, huh?
Yeah, because the rand's got weak, the dollar's got strong. So there's like, get this, hey, Mike, the crazy part is when I went to San Diego for the first time in 1979, 1980, it was 1980, okay?
Mm-hmm.
There was 75 South African cents equaled $1.
Okay.
Now, 16 rand equal $1.
Wow.
Yeah, so the rand was stronger than the dollar in 1980.
Yeah.
Now the flipping dollar's like 16 times stronger than the rand.
Wow. So I should go to South Africa for my vacation. I'm going to get.
You'll find it so cheap. Bro. You'll find it so cheap.
Yeah, that's just the airfare probably is the expensive part.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah. More than likely would be. Yeah, because and that's what's made it difficult for the Grom surfers to go surfing internationally because it's always just such a long haul,
That would be super rough. Like that could really break it, really. And being so young and not having the money in the first place, that's a disadvantage. Total disadvantage. And I'm guessing you don't hear too much internationally except about Jordy or
Matt McGilvery.
Yeah. Or of course Sean Thompson, he comes out, and he doesn't even when's the last time he's lived there? Actually, I don't even know. He's lived in California a long time.
He's just visited here recently, and he's been living in Santa Barbara for maybe 20 years at least, 20, 25 years.
Right.
But he still shows good roots and comes back and does good promotions in South Africa, and he does all those motivational talks and stuff. And often some corporates fly him out here and do motivational speaking for them and stuff.
With that being said, it's got to be rough for the local up and coming surfers. I just feel bad for them, actually.
Yeah. No, it is a disadvantage for them, man.
For sure. What about you? I know you surf contests, right?
Yeah, but it's more from interacting. Like what we do is we have what you call the South African Masters Championships.
Yes, I saw your name on there.
And what they do is they have it from you've got to be 35 years and older to enter the Masters competition.
Okay.
And then what they do is they have it in 5-year categories. So the first category is 35 to 40. So you'll have a winner of that category.
Yep.
And then you have 40 to 45, 45 to 50, 50 to 55, 55 to 60, and 60 to 65.
Okay.
And we're trying to get them to do a category 65 to 70, but they say, no, it'll take too much time because I'm 66 now, So you always... And already our category is called the super vets, the super veterans,
Uh-huh.
So I said, oh, well, what are we going to call the next division? I said, we'll call us vintage or coffin dodgers or whatever you want to call us,
Has the event happened yet, or is it going to happen soon?
No, it's happened. It happened on the Shakadu. It was just like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
We had it at St. Michael's on the South Coast, yeah.
Oh, is that why you traveled down there?
I traveled after the competition, the week, about 5 days after the competition.
Gotcha. Okay. How'd you do in the contest, and how was the contest? How were the waves, and was it fun?
Yes, on the one day it was, it was different conditions every day. It
of
was
course.
held over like a 4-day period.
Yep.
And the one day was like 8-10 foot.
Wow.
And they said for the 55 years and older, we had a jet ski assist to take us out on the jet ski.
Cool.
We're allowed to ride out, but then we we're only allowed one ride on the jet ski just to get out. And then every wave you had to kick out early and make sure you didn't get caught. Otherwise, you flipping trying to paddle against 8-10 footers.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so it was good. I normally always get into the finals, and over the years, I've got hanging over on the wall here, I've got a silver medal and I've got 2 bronzes. So
awesome.
I've come second before and I've come third before twice,
That's rad.
And, but this year I got kind of punished because I didn't go to the trials for my province, for my state.
Oh, okay.
And they only have one person in the position for 60 to 65. And another guy, Reg, got that position because he went to trials and stuff. So I wasn't there to challenge him or anything like that.
Yep.
And then, so they had a spare position in the 55 to 60 age group. So they put me in that with like the spring chickens. So I had to surf against the 55 to 60. So I must admit, I think I came last in each one of my heats. Embarrassing to say.
Not really. I mean, you're okay. First off, it's about fun, probably. But I mean, you are trying.
Exactly.
You're trying to have fun, and you are trying to prove something. But you already had a. I mean, I don't know. The waves are macking. That's big. 8 to 10 foot is pretty solid.
Yeah, and on the one day, and the best part about it, you've got like 110 surfers from throughout the country, throughout South Africa.
Cool.
All at one spot from all different parts of the country.
Yeah.
And you interconnect with all your buddies once a year at this event, and you're all like on top of your game with your equipment, and the guys are showing off their different fins they're using and different boards and different grips and different leashes and board bags. And, so the guys are talking product and equipment and just talking surf stories. And you're almost forced to be at the beach for 4 full days,
You're probably tired after. But you had a good time.
Yeah. After being at the beach all day, but you're almost like reminiscent on Grommet days, and you make sure you take gas bottles and make coffee in the morning and umbrellas, and you just get organized and deck chairs and stuff like that,
Awesome. Okay, let's talk about the surf industry in South Africa. Is it strong? I know ours has been challenged the last few years. It's kind of like everyone's gotten bought out by somebody else. So it's kind of different.
I think the surfing post-COVID period has been a very good run for the surf industry, and that we've got 2 blank manufacturers here in South Africa.
Okay,
who make the foam blanks.
Yeah,
and they're both based in Durban.
Oh, that's good.
And
for you,
exactly. And what they were doing, they were working literally 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. Like just pumping blanks. Couldn't make enough blanks post-COVID.
Wow.
And then only about a month ago, 6 weeks ago, suddenly I went round to the one blank factory and I said, hey, you guys still pumping this? And they said, hey, no, we're on short time. We're only running like 3 days a week. And I said, hey, what happened? And they said, hey, no, the whole bottom's fallen out of the European market, where they said they think because of the war and shit like that, they say the exports to Europe have dropped off big time, because I would estimate that in Durban, in any one month, I would say Durban manufacturers are manufacturing anything between 600 and 1,000 surfboards every month that have been exported and sold locally.
Wow, that's
In
great.
Durban.
That's great.
Yeah. No, there's good. So they do a lot of exports of surfboards from Durban. Eh?
Yeah. So are you in the surf industry? You have a surf company?
I've been in the surf industry since 1981.
Right. Let's talk about that island style.
Yeah, exactly, the right style.
Okay. Did you start the company? Let me ask you that first.
I started the company personally with one sewing machine and one worker in 1981. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, let's talk about that. Why did you start it? And was it a good thing in your life? I mean, obviously, I'm gonna assume the answer is yes, but I'll let you answer that. I'm sure
you know what it
down.
is?
By the way, sorry.
Always. Always have up and downs in life. You have the valleys and the highs, the mountains and the valleys, like, you know?
Yeah.
But I would say the main reason was because my love for surfing. I love surfing so much.
Yep.
And then what I did do is I went with a good buddy in 1979, went over to Europe, and we went literally on a surf trip. We sold up everything,
mm-hmm.
and we went on a 1-year open return ticket to Europe.
Mm.
And we ended up working in London, and then we went down, just to briefly summarize it, we went down to Biarritz in the south of France, stayed in a caravan park there for like 3 months. A lot of G-string topless chicks and stuff like that. And made a stay there with mirror sunglasses. Like that. And then after Biarritz, we went to Spain, Mandaka. Then we went to Portugal. Then we went all the way to Amsterdam, sold the car, went back to London. Then we caught one of those Freddie Laker air tickets, and we flew to San Diego.
Mm.
In actual fact, we flew to Los Angeles, live in Los Angeles.
Okay.
And we arrived there, and then we knew some buddies down in San Diego. And we ended my friend's sister stayed down at Ocean Beach. And we thought, hey, it's going to be a cool, like quite a cultured sort of place down in San Diego.
Yep.
Hey, meanwhile, it was like a heavy bikers village there at San Diego.
Okay.
Those are parties next door with electric guitars and big kegs of beer. And we're like, yo, how these are? Like, flipping, yeah. And that's when we surfed Ocean Beach and stuff like that. And, you know, like for us, hey, California was like sex, drugs, and rock and roll. It was like, yes, how wild are these days? Like, you know, it's like
party time.
Yeah, party time. You'd pull up to a traffic lights, and like chicks would pull up next to you, like with big silicone boobs and stuff with convertible and whistle at you. And you'd be like, are these chicks, bro?
That's rad.
Yeah, and then we worked and we got a job at a bakery in San Diego, North Park Bakery.
Oh, really? Okay.
And I got about 6 or 8 of my South African buddies who all got a job there at the bakery. Like, we all worked at the bakery because of my experience in the bakery, like, you know.
Yes.
And we worked there, and then I went right down to Mexico, came back from Mexico, went right down by Guadalajara to a place called San Blas.
All right.
And then came back up, and then my dream was to get to Hawaii. And my buddy, he went to Canada, and I went to Hawaii, and I arrived there on the North Shore, like, and arrived there with 2 boards. And I thought to myself, like, yes, I couldn't believe. I rented a car just to get to the North Shore. And then went from Honolulu Airport to the North Shore, and I went to Cammy's there by the laundromat, and I checked these little, on the notice board, they had like a notice board there, like a community notice board, and they had like rooms to rent. It's like little tear-off things where you had little numbers you could tear off, you know?
Yep.
And it said Sunset Beach there, and I was like, hey, I phoned this guy, and his name was Butchie Coca. He's a famous lifeguard on the North Shore there. I phoned this guy, and he said, hey, bro. So I said, hey, you got a room to rent? Like, he said, yeah. He explained to me where he was, like, and I arrived there up the driveway. It was on Sunset Point, like.
Wow.
It was like all overgrown, like jungly type thing. And hey, this big Hawaiian dude came out, like board shorts on. Said, hey, are you Warren? Like, and I said, yes. and he then took me in there, and he said to me, I think it was $100 a month or something. He said to me, he showed me a room inside his house. He said, hey, look, I've got 2 Californian chicks staying in the shack over here. In actual fact, I've still got a picture of the shack on my wall here now, like from where he said, I've got 2 Californian chicks, and that's the one was Donna Sue Osborne. She was staying in there together with Mary Rochelle, her connection. And then, Butch said, like, hey, listen, you leave that blonde one away. I've got my eye on that one. You make sure you don't get clever. Yeah, like, I said, hey, I just behaved myself. I said, no. And then the room that I had, the whole ceiling was a Hawaiian flag. I still remember you had a Hawaiian flag, like pinned up on the ceiling, like, you know.
Okay.
I used to go to sleep with this Hawaiian flag. And that's when I started surfing Fells Reef.
Wow.
On the inside there, and winter hadn't kicked in.
Okay.
And so I was there from about August, and I lived there for like 6 months until the end of January, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I took the whole winter swell coming. Hey, I arrived there like with twin fins and small fishes and stuff. And then Butch, he lent me a beautiful 7'6" Dick Brewer, a single fin. And so eventually I couldn't believe it. We were actually riding 8, 10 foot, 10, 12 foot sunset.
Wow.
And we had real good, and he used to put me on a training program, go run to Rocky Point, come back, do push-ups, this. He changed, you want to surf sunset, you got to be strong, bruh. Like Hawaiian style, you know?
Yeah.
And then after all that, after being away from home for about 2 years, I came back to South Africa in, I think it was January 1981, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I came back and I checked. I was like, after being living in California for 6 months, Hawaii for 6 months, and in Europe, I came back to the surf shops in South Africa and I was like, jeez, all they had was like wax and surfboards and like hardly any boardies or hardly any, like no wallets and no backpacks and product like that, you know?
Yes.
And leashes had just come out, like, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought to myself, like, hey, after visiting a couple of the surf shops and stuff like that, I said to myself, hey, I've got to try and do something on a permanent basis, you know, career-wise. I've like finished my traveling overseas now. I didn't really want to go into the bakery business with my dad and stuff.
Yep.
But my dad had groomed me and taught me well in business with bakery and all that.
Yes.
And then I started working for a company called Hotel and Bar Requisites as like a sales rep, selling crockery and cutlery and glassware and linen and toweling to sort of the hotel and bar industry. And they were basically a wholesale supplier to the restaurants and to the hotels. And that gave me an idea to become like a wholesale supplier, distributor to the surf industry type of thing, to supply them with products that they needed, you know?
Okay.
And then I remember I imported a batch of Balin surfboard leashes, BALIN, from a guy, John Flinders, and them. I've stayed kind of in touch, but lost contact with them for a while now. But they were pretty good Australian brand of making leg ropes, leashes.
I remember them in Surfer Magazine back in that time. And
you remember? Ad. Yeah. And I imported like 500 of their leashes into South Africa. And that's what my dad helped me with finance. It was the only finance he helped me with was actually to front up the bucks.
Okay.
To bring in 500 of these leg ropes from Australia. And then I brought them, and I may have brought 2 batches in or something like that, you know. And then I approached them to say, hey, can I make them under license here in South Africa and stuff like that? And they were a little bit like, thought, hey, no, what's this guy not going to pay us royalties or whatever it was? So then I thought to myself, I thought, hey, if an Australian can do it, and that whole rivalry thing again, like if an Australian can do it, or American can do it, why the flip can't do us as a South African do it, you know?
Yes.
And then I found out where to buy Velcro, where to buy hook and loop tape, like, and I found out where to buy polyurethane cord, and then I started making leashes, and I started. I found the granules, the polyurethane granules that you need to actually extrude it to make the leash cord. So instead of buying imported leash cord from America, I found out what the raw material was, and then we started extruding locally here in South Africa. We started extruding the leash cord, you know.
Okay.
And started making up ankle straps. And then I thought, well, I couldn't do bailing under license type of thing. I thought to myself, hey, I've got to come up with a South African name, you know?
Yeah.
You know, a name. And I was thinking to myself, so it was in that whole punk rock era. So the company I'd formed was called New Wave Surfing Promotions.
Okay.
So I thought to myself, hey, I should call it New Wave, like, you know, let me do that brand New Wave, like, you know. And then I went to register the trademark And I found a large South African corporation called Edgar. It's like a JC Penney's or whatever they are, like a big JC Sears here in South Africa. They'd already registered the name New Wave.
Okay.
And I thought, oh, not. And then I was scratching my head, thinking. And one day I just said to myself, hey, what reminds me the best of the islands and stuff? And I thought, hey, island style, you know? And I thought, hey, that's the one, flipping it. Reminiscence best with the life that I spent in the islands, you know?
Brad.
And then I applied to register that, and there was open registration, registered the trademark, and then that was where the beginning started in 1981. I started making Velcro surf wallets and started making leashes.
Wow.
With one sewing machine. And then it went to like 2 sewing machines, 3 sewing machines. And it just developed into backpacks, into surfboard covers. And I made the very first double surfboard bag in the world. And I made the very first wet and dry backpack in the world.
Really? Interesting. And, That's right.
Yeah.
So you were thinking ahead.
Hey, always like from creativeness, you know, and that's where a lot of Durban guys come with that, you know.
Okay.
They say it's from the local dope here and stuff. It's just sativa.
That's funny.
Yeah, and you know, and then that whole Richard Branson story and stuff was, when you do what you love and love what you do, it's not work. Like, you know, you just you're involved with your passion. You know, so you put so much more energy into it and so much more excitement in whatever you do, you know.
Okay. So
even though when your buddy's paddling next to you, like checking his ankle out, hey, you got an island style leash, like come on, support it, bro.
Support local, you know.
Exactly.
Okay.
Our packaging actually says on all our packaging, it actually says, not made in China, my China, made in South Africa, my bro.
There you go. I love that. That's great.
Yeah.
Did you? So you exported your merchandise, your items out of the country? Or did you only go in country?
Oh no, in like 20, we were in 28 countries at one time in our heyday when we were like, you know.
Yes, I remember you guys.
Way bigger, and there wasn't so much of an onslaught from the whole Chinese thing, you know.
Yes.
Because the Chinese were making kind of shitty leashes and stuff like that, and they weren't making, you know, good leashes. And then what actually happened, the Aussies went over to through to China and stuff like that, and obviously encouraged them and taught them how to make them properly and stuff. So their quality improved with the production. I mean, I even made a batch of the kind leash at one time for Rob Kaplan in Hawaii. Like
wow.
Thing, you know? Yeah, and they were like more reliant on our South African production than Chinese production, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it's almost like the same as the fire wires and that whole production of the pop-out surfboards that have been manufactured in Thailand and China and stuff like that. You know, you end up as surfers going to develop that product over in those countries, and that thing comes up and bites you too, like, and you know what it does to the local shapers and stuff like that when you got heaps of boards pouring in that are made in China or made in Thailand, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more, actually. So, at what point did it ever become overwhelming? It didn't take you away from surfing. Were you were in the lifestyle, but did work become work, or was it always you surfed in the mornings, or did you get your surfing?
Yeah. You know, my dad always taught me work before pleasure. But because I came from a bakery family, waking up early, I'm not afraid to wake up early. So what I do at least 3 times a week, I try and get in 3 surfs a week.
Cool.
I wake up at 5 o'clock, and then I'm out of here by 10 to 6, and I'm at the beach by 6 o'clock when it's getting light. And then I'll do a 45-minute to an hour session in Durban. It's very convenient, easy to go surfing, then shower afterwards and go straight to work, you know?
Okay. So it didn't become all corporate. You kept the style, the lifestyle, the island style.
Nah, and we've continuously kept that lifestyle, and that's why, like, I'm old school. I still do 2 road trips a year, and I visit the owners of the surf shops at grassroots level. And I actually have my order book, and I write it without an iPad and stuff. I take up. I know that so a lot of the guys say that I'm one of the best salesmen around, like, because I flipping go there. And I just check. I can see what's missing with the years of experience. I go, hey, you got any wax gun? No. Oh, give me some.
Okay.
I check you low on your warm water wax. They're like, hey, you need some 6-foot leashes. Oh, do I? Choo, you know?
Okay. So what are you producing today?
We manufacturing. We like to believe we make the best surfboard covers in the whole wide world.
Okay.
But because what we always do is we always use the genuine YKK lifetime guaranteed wetsuit zipping for our board bags. And if you'll know, 99% of all board bags, the thing that fails in a board bag is the bloody zip. And it's because people don't put a cheap, inferior zip in the thing. And the best thing that we've always done about our board bags is we use a genuine YKK wetsuit zip. And you know yourself, like with a wetsuit zip, it hardly ever fails.
Yes.
You know, and it's in actual fact, YKK give us a lifetime guarantee on it, you know.
Awesome.
And our one swing tag actually says guaranteed for life, but it says your life only, bro. Like you can't leave it to his kids.
You can't pass it down for generations.
That's what I tune him. When I sell it to him, I said, hey, it's guaranteed for life. And then I tune him like, but your life only. And he goes, oh, that's okay. You can't leave it to your life either.
That's good. That's funny. Okay. Are you only based in South Africa now? Do you still distribute throughout the world?
No, we still supply quite a few orders to Portugal and to France and to US, some orders to US, and then we do to Mauritius, we do to Seychelles, we do to, local islands around here and stuff like that. And
okay, cool.
My mission was we were coming back to Surf Expo. We're going to exhibit the September show just before COVID hit. And I went and got my 10-year multiple entry visa into the USA and everything like that. And we booked a stand. We were coming, and then this whole COVID shit broke. So
yes.
I just saw that it was Beach Script or Shop Eat Surf or something. That one website I saw all about the September show coming up in Orlando.
Okay.
I think it's from the 8th to 10th of September.
All right.
I'm going to miss it this year, but I'm going to challenge it to be there for 2023.
Yeah, maybe I'll meet you. That sounds fun, actually.
Yeah, that'll be good. I'd think to meet you there in person. So Mark, what we manufacturing now? So we manufacturing.
Okay.
Like I like to boast and say the best surfboard covers in the world.
Yep.
We're making thousands of leashes, surfboard leashes. We make and bodyboard leashes, obviously. And then we make very, very good, excellent traction, excellent grip. We make all Geordie Smith grips, the Smith grip under their brand, and we do all our Island style brands. Our grips are very good grips. So those are our three main strength categories: our board bags, leashes, and tractions.
Okay.
And then we make a lot of flip flops. Like beach songs, flip flops, slops, like Havaiana type slops.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we do about 3,500, 4,000 pairs of those a month.
Oh, wow, that's a lot. In the States, do you know what stores you're at or what shops? Offhand, if you don't?
No, we haven't dealt there in the States for a while.
Okay.
We haven't dealt over there for a while. Yeah. So that's why I want to get over to there and get contact even directly with stores and that.
And well, actually, since we're talking about that, you were talking earlier about the pop-out boards in China and stuff. That has obviously affected your business in a negative way, I'm sure. But with your high quality merchandise, the question, I guess, is how has it affected you?
I think where it affects us is because, unfortunately, the South African rand is quite a volatile currency.
Yes, that's true.
And so us as South Africans, we like to sell our product as South African rands and not do sort of a US dollar price list, because if you do a US dollar price list, you go to sleep every night and you're thinking like, yes, I hope flipping our president doesn't say something stupid and the rand drops to like 20 to this, and like flipping.
That's true.
So and then for importers in the US, it's always been difficult knowing what their true price is, because we should really quote in dollars, and so it's continuously fluctuating, which we're a lot more stable from China, because if you buy anything from China, you're buying dollars,
Yes.
Say where it's affected us is what is like kind of stupid is that the South African government, instead of charging duties on Finnish-made product with foreign labor. They let like all surfboards and all surfboard leashes and tractions made in China, made in Thailand, come into South Africa duty-free. And they wonder why we got such big unemployment. You know?
Wow.
And it's like, and yet no one makes Velcro hook and loop tape in South Africa.
Wow.
So we import the hook and loop tape, but we've got to pay duties on the hook and loop tape. So there are a couple of stupid flipping non-common sense sort of rules and laws that our government does. That if they had to change things, they could definitely turn the economy around a lot quicker.
Wow. Yeah. And then what boards are you riding? Who do you get shapes from?
I love Spider Murphy, and I've always got he's 76 years old now.
Wow.
And but he's like, people tell me that I'm Durban's oldest teenager, and I go, no. Spider's older than me. Spider still wears a vest and still skateboards and flipping.
Awesome.
He's got so much energy and so much passion, bro, and he makes such beautiful surfboards. And so I've always been very loyal to Spider Murphy, even though I've ridden a couple Jason ribbing boards, built boards. I've ridden Graham Smith boards and stuff like that. But I just like to remain loyal to a particular shaper type of thing, you know, and give feedback and just stay loyal to people as opposed to jumping around.
Well,
per se.
With that being said, he knows what you like to ride. You guys have a relationship, so that's a benefit to both of you guys. You're getting the board you want.
Exactly.
Wave pools. Have you surfed a wave pool? What are your thoughts on it? Are you guys getting any in South Africa?
No real good ones like Kelly's ones and the ones that are popping up, like the ones in Oz. There haven't been any good ones that have popped up here. I've ridden a wave pool before in Johannesburg that they had, but there was nothing like that. The wave pools that are popping up like Kelly's one and the other ones that are popping up all over the place. And, you know, my view on it is, hey, it's for the growth of surfing. And if it's going to grow surfing, I'm only too stoked, especially they're not coming to crowd the waves at the coast. And they should good things for inland and stuff like that, you know, like almost like skate parks, you know. But, you know, watching like the WSL contest at the wave park and stuff like that, hey, you start yawning like flipping after those have had a couple of waves, you know, because it's pretty much too much repetitive stuff and too much the same thing, you know. And I prefer to watch it in the real ocean where you got sharks and dolphins and turtles and shit.
That's a good point. And you get spontaneous.
Not so much sharks, I suppose.
Yeah. You know, the Mick Fanning thing will go down in history.
Proper.
You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much, Warren Wareing, for helping bring some knowledge to South African surfing. I'm stoked. I'm super happy. Thank you.
Lekker. I'm stoked that you stoked, Michael. And lekker, and thanks for putting it together.
Yeah, no, this is spontaneous, and I really appreciate it. You got any final words?
Final words is just keep the stoke going.
Yes.
And stay stoked.
Yeah.
And the little thing over here on my board over here I've got like a vision board in front of me at home of, you know, just because I almost go to myself, I'm 66 now, and my 30-year-old beautiful daughter got married on the 23rd of July last month. And I almost go like, I'm looking forward to the next chapter of becoming a grandpa. So not that I'm encouraging my new son-in-law to get too busy too quick, but I look forward to becoming a grandpa. And I say to myself, I hope and pray that I can make it to like 86, 87. So I almost go, I've got 20 more summers left. And I'm going, hey, I want to do this in this year and this and that year. And I've still got some lovely bucket list stuff that I want to do. And one of the things that I've got on my board here, it says here, we don't stop surfing when we get old. We grow old when we stop surfing. So never stop.
Dude, that's good words right there. I like that. Love that, actually. That's awesome.
I'll take a photo and send it to you.
Cool. All right, Warren. Thank you once again. This is Mike and Warren from the QuiverCast, and thank you guys all for joining us.
100 foot out, Joe 100 racks on a surf, dude. Slippery, big guns like Mark Fu. Trap jumping like a kangaroo. 100 foot out, Joe 100 racks on a surf, dude. Slippery, big guns like Mark Fu. Trap jumping like a kangaroo. You know we don't fuck with no kooks. Your boo on my didgeridoo. They calling me dude. I'm stacking the loot. I'm ripping your chick in the coop. She grabbing a hold of my leggy. They jelly, they get you my wetty. The friends of Giuseppe, the chain is so heavy, she think that I'm charging the Eddie. 100 out chopu, 100 racks on a surf dude. Slippery, big guns like Mark Fu. Trap jumping like a kangaroo. 100 out chopu, 100 racks on a surf dude. Slippery, big guns like Mark Fu. Trap jumping like a kangaroo. Surf trap, I'm stacking that money. Cash. 4 shots, a red Ferrari. He starts to calling me Dundee. Diamonds are surfing McFlurry. She want me to teach her to surf. Splash. I'm pulling up, ripping the verse. I'm leaving these kooks in the hearse. They get moved 100 foot on their head, they get work. 100 foot out chopu. 100 racks on a surf dude. Slippery, big guns like Mark Fu. Trap jumping like a kangaroo. 100 foot out chopu. 100 racks on a surf dude. Slippery, big guns like Mark Fu. Trap jumping like a kangaroo. You know we don't fuck with no kooks. You know we don't fuck with no kooks. You calling me dude, I'm stacking the loot. I'm ripping your chick in the coop. You know we don't fuck with no kooks. You know we don't fuck with no kooks. They calling me dude, I'm stacking the loot. I'm ripping your chick in the coop.
Hey, you guys, Endless Summer box set. This thing is legit. It's authentic, numbered certificate in it. It has a 5-frame film strip from the original print. You will literally own a piece of history. It has a specially minted bronze medallion. Dude, that thing's sick. Okay, there's so much more here. Go to the show notes. There's a link on there. Go check this piece of history out. This thing's rad. Seriously. Smithsonian American History Museum has it. It took 4 years of research with 3.5 in production, all hand assembled. This thing's rad. So much to this awesome box set. Remastered DVD, sharper images than the original film, but dude, this thing's so sick. Link in the show notes.